I just saw a video, and you see them constantly if you go on YouTube, to where young men are taking performance enhancing drugs, then they flex and do videos and pictures and stuff like that, and they act like they're proud of their physique when there is, like, oh my gosh, the worst acne you'll ever see, like all over their chest, all over their shoulders, all over their back, and they're like flexing their arms, and I'm like, I want to vomit. I was like, a girl could be so like my perfect perfection. If she has acne all over her tits and her back, you know what? I'm good. Do women actually think that these muscular guys look good when they have this disgusting acne that looks like hornets got a hold of them? Like, it looks so bad, and they're flexing, like, and like making videos and showing off like they're really proud. How you look disgusting. It's like somebody who's really tan, but it's just a gross tan, like splotchy. Like, I was a lifeguard for many summers, and there are some people that had some really good tans, and there are some people that stay out of the sun, you'll look better, because their tans are just garbage. So these guys that are really muscular now, with all this acne everywhere, would they have looked better by having significantly amount less muscle, to where they work out and like normal, and then just put on a little muscle and don't have all this acne scars and disgustingness and hair loss, and you look really old really quickly? Do girls think that looks good? Like, or is that these young men see these, they were young men, now they're a little bit older men, and they have all these sponsors because they have muscles, even though they look like somebody took a kitchen knife and decided to slice them all up and down and just make them look god awful. But do they get rich? Like, do they get sponsors even though they look terrible? Like, do they get sponsors? Is that why these young men are doing it? Do they think they get the girls? Do they get the girls? I have no idea. But it is watching this young man flex in the video was like he was so proud of what he has accomplished, even though he took a gigantic shortcut and hurt him physically for the rest of his life, even though he was 16. Even if like his heart's good, liver and all that, he's going to have this nastiness forever all over him, no matter if he has muscles, doesn't have muscles. It's going to be there. It's not going away. He is scarred for life from the age of 16. And now that I'm thinking about it, these young men and young women taking steroids at that young age is equivalent to these young men and young women transitioning their genders. Like, that's how much steroids change you as you're developing. At anything. As a teenager, it's going to affect you because you're developing. So these parents that are, you'd be like, well, they don't know what they're doing. Well, you know what? That's called being a parent. Like, I see all these commercials about TikTok and Instagram or whatever other social media they have that they do these commercials on. And they talk about all these different ways to secure your child, to make sure they don't do this and do that and do that. I was like, these people haven't worked with kids. These people making these commercials, these people making these things on the apps or social whatever, like to keep kids from it. They've never worked with kids. They think that's actually going to work. You're as naive as the dumbass environmentalists that I just made the video about. Because these are middle schoolers I was working with. This is not a 16, 17-year-old that's even more intelligent and knows more about these stupid apps. But middle schoolers, there was a thing called Go Guardian. To where, because everyone gets a Chromebook, because God forbid we have a book. When the only thing you need is what's in that textbook. No, you need your Chromebook. Because what if you need to look up something else? Even though you don't. So the teachers have Go Guardian so they can see and monitor what the kids are using, or what they're doing and using and talking to or whatever on their Chromebook. And these young men and young women, guess what they did? They subverted it. I was walking around the classroom, and I know this teacher monitored. She was all over the Go Guardian, all over him. I walk around, and I see this young man, and he's playing a game. I'm like, how on earth is he doing that? It's like, she's all over it. So I walked up, and I went behind her, and I looked, and I found his computer, and it had his work on it. And then I walked back just to make sure. Maybe he switched over. He was still playing the game. And I'm like, so I go to the teacher. I'm like, can you unplug your computer and come with me? She's like, oh, okay. So she walks right behind me, and we go behind the young man. He's unaware because kids are stupid. Especially, like, people are stupid. When they're playing a game and it grows, like, they're just dumb. So the teacher comes with me, and I was like, they don't line up. What's on your computer and what's on his. And she's like, go to the principal. And so he had to go to the principal, and then he went to the tech person, and he found out how to basically freeze his computer to make it look like he's on the work, but then be able to do whatever he wants. And this is a 12-year-old. And it's not like he's one off. This started happening constantly. After these kids had time to figure out how to get what they want. And there's so many kids that have absolute freakouts about the use of their computer. And one of the people I worked with was like, Kevin, it's like having a crack addict carry around a bag of crack and say, don't use it. Because these kids were literally addicted to their computer. They would go hungry, they would go thirsty, they would not use the restroom because they were so into that computer. And that always... So we say social media is addictive. The computers allow you to get on that. But yet, instead of trying to help these kids, we take the addiction and was like, oh, here you go. This will make the addiction better. And then we're shocked that these kids are having issues. And this all started from me talking about a 16-year-old using steroids so he can look better, as he looks so disgusting. Like, I want to vomit when I see these guys, girls with this acne all over. Like, that is unattractive. So, all these people that think they've got these kids on lockdown. Oh, my child, I have them locked out of everything. Whatever. If you believe that, you're naive. And your kid's going to do whatever they want. The only way to stop the kid from subverting those things is to not allow them